Tuesday, 8/25/2026. Chariot Tuesday. Knowledge and wisdom. Have faith in your abilities. The day of the unabashed extrovert. Extrovert. Chariot. Harnessing the fighting spirit. Let's see, what did I do on this day? Day when the roommate and I got into it about the window shades. I had a dream of my son being injured and me putting pressure on his ear. My daughter haven't sent me a photo of her herself. She did her hair. Okay. I'm eating a pear. The time is 12:39, and I think today is Thursday, August 27th. So I turned down lunch today. I didn't want to eat a veggie burger. So I have a delicious ripe pear that I'm eating. Cloudy day here in New York, Times Square. Shattered showers. Clear right now. Okay, let's get it. Easy tarot. Learn to read the cards once and for all. This reading is according to my spread. And I do this for my journaling purposes, education as well, self-taught. So let's get it. The, so the key cards for today is the Chariot, harnessing the fighting spirit, the King of Swords, nothing succeeds like success, the Four of Cups, self, 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 and the Five of Pentacles, no pain, no gain. Yeah. Okay, the chariot spread, a spread for forging a path. Once the fool has made a choice and learned from the value of commitment, a stalemate of sorts ends and the movement towards something begins. The chariot tests the fool's ability to get themselves from one point to another despite obstacles, surprises, setbacks, and an unruly pair of horses. It teaches the lessons of focus, determination, and exertion of control in order to travel a different path towards one's goals. The light side is movement, direction, determination, focus, and travel. The shadow is sluggishness, aimlessness, wandering. When to use this spread? When you understand your goals but you are unsure of how to get there. When you need help charting a path from where you are to where you want to be. So I will start this reading off with let's see, it says the 10 of Cups. Happily ever after. Emotional fulfillment. Domestic bliss. Marriage. Commitment. The setting provides a scene of serenity and domestic bliss, bringing the quiet enjoyment that comes through the fulfillment of emotional contentment. 10 upright cups arch around a home and its occupants, encompassing them within their emotive realm. The cups are suspended within a rainbow, a good omen, symbol for peace and happiness. The 10 brings completion to the emotional suit of the cups. It represents the ultimate for love and happiness with emotional fulfillment. It can indicate harmonious and contented love, and it may bring joy and lasting success to a relationship. The Ten of Cups can represent a serious commitment being made in a relationship, so marriage may feature for some. For those seeking romance, it could suggest the potential for a serious love relationship to enter. The scene in this card is taken from the artist's perspective, as though returning from work to home and family, and symbolizes the satisfaction of a peaceful and settled home life. The Ten of Cups is like the contented sigh of a happy heart, sated with and fulfilled. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate tensions within a marriage or family unit and may warn to guard against complacency. Some see the reverse card as a loveless marriage or one of convenience. When the upright card is followed by less favorable cards, it may suggest emotional challenges to the relationship or happy or family happiness. So the Chariot, harnessing the fighting spirit, triumph over obstacles, self-discipline, and willpower. The journey. A woman is seated upon a curious two-wheeled chariot, drawn by two phoenixes of opposing color, which symbolizes the recurring theme of duality. The phoenix is a mythical creature of enormous strength, yet the woman unifies the opposing forces to control the creatures and chariot without reins, suggesting the strength of her will and determination. The chariot represents victory and triumph obtained through determination and drive. It suggests applying self-discipline and self-control to harness your willpower to overcome any obstacles. that may lie on the road ahead and keep everything moving in the right direction to achieve your aims. The chariot indicates the great force of power generated from exerting your will towards a clear and focused vision as you forge ahead. It creates a good deal of movement and momentum as you drive everything forward, so it suggests a brisk pace and the capacity to unleash an unstoppable force of powerful energy. The chariot can also represent a journey, and on a mundane level, it may reference vehicles or your car. Reversed or challenging aspects can suggest that scattered thoughts or loss of focus prevents progress, spinning your wheels and going nowhere. Alternatively, it can indicate being too forceful or pushy with disregard for all else to achieve your aims. Travel or vehicle problems may feature. Challenging aspects may suggest charging straight into trouble. Let that marinate real quick while I get my other phone to share this live to my social media. If you like to find out more about what I be doing, um, you may find me at Facebook. Mm. Um, High Priestess Shavonda Dennison.
But imagine, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is up for listening to the music, sir. Let's do it. Let's listen to something. Fresh out the frying pan into the fire. I'll be the music is number one. Around 9 is when I caught the bug, like being obsessed. I would write every day. Writing. Writing. Just writing. Every day. The reason why rap is so loved, that feeling of that underdog, that's why people were listening. That's why it hit them somewhere.
That's incredible. You reinvented what was possible to do.
How far can we go with this? How powerful is this music? This is wild.
September 18th, Jay-Z is going to be on HBO Max documentary. Okay. Now I'm back to the Chariot reading. A spread for forging a path. This is not the energy of today. It is the energy of the 25th. So yes, I'm behind. The next card we're going to go to, I have listed on here, is the Nine of Pentacles. So after harnessing the fighting spirit, we make hay while the sun shines. Material comfort and financial independence. An elegantly dressed lady is surrounded by an abundant garden, as 9 golden pentacles blossoms on the vine that climbs an ornate gazebo. She proudly displays the falcon upon her hand, a bird that was considered a symbol of status when only the wealthy could afford their upkeep. The Nine of Pentacles indicates a time of abundance with financial ease and material comfort and suggests enjoying a prosperous lifestyle with a touch of luxury. It brings a sense of pride and satisfaction with accomplishments in your material affairs, which are normally attained by your own efforts. At the very least, it should bring some financial improvement to your situation, but usually involves slightly larger sums that would have a substantial impact. As a card of abundance, it can indicate a sizable bonus or gift, and luxury items may feature. Some see this card as representing solitary enjoyment, implying one who is alone, but it often appears to signify someone who is financially independent and secure in their own right, regardless of relationship status. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate overindulgence, being extravagant, or wasteful with resources, decreasing returns, depreciating assets, or a diminishing financial position. May suggest the appearance and outward trappings of a comfortable lifestyle are unstable, built on a mirage, or supported by debt. When the upright card is followed by a challenging card, it may indicate a financially difficult period. And that's what I'm in. So I guess I'm in reverse at the moment. So, what's next is the Hierophant. Don't reinvent the wheel. Tradition and conviction, institutions, marriage. A religious leader stands before a stained glass window against a background of the night sky, acting as a channel from the heavenly and divine to the material world. His clothing reflects the vestments of higher office. He holds one hand upwards and the other down, indicating as above, so below, in the act of dispensing benediction and divine guidance to the congregation. The Hierophant represents traditional values and the conventions of society. It sets the tone for meeting certain expectations within a set of guiding principles, and can suggest following your normal compass, following the rules, and conforming within a hierarchical system. Traditional establishments and institutions can feature, so marriage and the conventional family unit may fall within its scope, but it also covers large organizations, often bureaucratic in nature, that follow established systems and structures, procedures. It can apply a educational establishment, government, departments, and officials, hospitals, charities, churches, and religious organizations, and also large commercial companies. The Hierophant may represent a respected figure in your community, a guide or mentor, or someone you can go to for advice and wise counsel. Reversed or challenging aspects can take conformity to a negative extreme, blind dogma, a false prophet, a cult, or someone corrupt and self serving in a public position of trust, losing faith, throwing ethics and morals to the wind. And alternatively, some see the reverse card as unorthodoxy and being unconventional, challenging accepted norms. The Five of Swords. The King of Swords. Nothing succeeds like success. Serious and responsible, enigmatic. The King of Swords' steely throne appears to dominate him, perhaps referencing the cool exterior he exudes. Cold as steel, it floats in the air of his airy domain, indicating analytical thought, as he presents his sword with a serious demeanor. As a person or representing character traits, the King of Swords has an authoritative presence and can make a natural leader with courage and a good backbone. Quietly confident with a reserved demeanor, they may appear slightly detached and prefer to get on with the task at hand without fuss and fanfare. They are observant, an analytical and rational thinker with a sharp mind and good intelligence, and a reasoned and articulate individual. They're not inclined to wear their heart on their sleeve and may seem something of a closed book and difficult to fathom, but they have hidden depths. So the King of Swords makes a loyal friend and protective partner, provides good advice, likes to see fair play, and takes responsibilities seriously. The card can sometimes represent someone in uniform or legal or justice positions. In divination, the King of Swords indicates a mature adult, traditionally male. It can represent the astrological sun signs connected to the air element. That's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Reversed or challenging aspects can appear to be standoffish or unapproachable, tough, inflexible, and uncompromising. May seem formidable or intimidating. Some see the reverse card as the opposite, representing flawed thought and decision making, or someone weak and ineffectual. The Five of Swords. No man is an island. Underhandedness, hidden agenda, hollow victory. A man poses with his sword aloft in a victorious gesture as he proudly displays four other swords as his trophy. The broken figures in the background show their defeat. His gain has been at the expense of their loss. The Five of Swords shows an element of deceit may be at work. Someone is not being honest in their dealings, and there's usually some form of underhandedness with a hidden agenda going on in the background. Devious behaviors is highlighted, and it can represent something being taken and lost in an unfair manner. Theft can be indicated, and although not always of physical goods, the Five of Swords holds a spiteful edge and can warn of someone trying to take advantage of you or acting with malicious intent. As a dishonorable card that shows a lack of ethics and moral code. It advises care in all your dealings. The Five of Swords usually warns of something to guard against, but also reminds you to check your moral compass in all your undertakings, as something gained by unfair means would result in a hollow victory. Reversed or challenging aspects can amplify the upright meaning to a larger degree, while some see the reverse card as moving beyond a defeat or loss. If the upright card is followed by challenging cards, it can warn of a difficult situation gathering momentum or treachery gaining a foothold. So the Five of Cups, healing, lost. Disappointment, sadness, and loss, grieving. The tone of this card makes an immediate impact. From the moody sky to the stance of the grieving warrior mourning the loss of the three overturned and spilled cups. They do not see the two upright cups behind them. Traditionally, the Five of Cups is the card of sadness and loss and shows that you may be experiencing feelings of disappointment or regret. There's an element of sorrow, so it can represent the natural process of grieving and mourning that accompanies the impact of an emotional loss. While the three spilled cups indicate something that has been lost, the two upright cups shows that something good still remains or will evolve out of the situation. And although it may not yet be evident in the present moment, it should become apparent at a later date. The nature of the five is usually temporary. In larger spreads, please check surrounding or following cards to see if the situation improves or how matters will progress. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Five of Cups reverse can indicate healing and recovery following a situation that brought a heavy heart, but not a total reversal of the matter. If the upright Five of Cups is followed by a less favorable card, it would suggest that matters are escalating and can indicate a worsening situation. The Four of Cups, self, 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 apathy and discontent, complacency. One moment. A well dressed youth sits in verdant surroundings with three upright cups beside them, suggesting a good situation and wanting for nothing. From the heavens, a fourth cup is offered. Yet, the youth appears indifferent to this magical occurrence. The Four of Cups suggests that something may fail to hit the mark and leave you feeling flat and uninspired. Or it may result in an anticlimax that jades your expectations. It can represent a situation that has become stale and stagnant, or a sense of boredom and discontent with circumstances, meaning it can highlight a growing dissatisfaction. There can be a warning not to become complacent or take things for granted, just as the youth disregards the magical cup in the image, as the Four of Cups can represent a blot on the landscape and in an otherwise perfect setting. There can be a tendency towards an inner focus and preoccupation with self and circumstances. And due to this mood of apathy and disenchantment, be watchful that you don't inadvertently miss new invitations or opportunities that may be available at this time. Reverse the challenging aspects. Some see the reversal as a worsening of the upright meaning, and it can indicate an alleviation to discontentment, with new top possibilities emerging that bring some renewed energy and enthusiasm. You may be entering the flow of life following a dormant period, or feel release from a stale situation. So judgment is here. Your day will come. Revival and resurrection, release and renewal. From the heavens, an angelic herald calls forth all souls that rise up and are resurrected for the great awakening and liberation of Judgment Day. Judgment brings, hold on. Judgment brings resurrection and the revival of something from the past as you stand at a pivotal crossroad in your life. This reawakening presents the opportunity to face a past situation, to review and learn a valuable lesson from what has gone before, in order to wipe the slate clean before moving forward and making a fresh start. It can liberate you from a past aspect to bring release and renewal. Something that has been laying dormant has spring back to life, providing a second chance to breathe new life into it so it can be resurrected and born anew. It can indicate reconciliation in a relationship or an old project being revived. Whatever is under review will hold some previous history, but this occasion can allow you to course correct and move things forward with rightful action. Judgment always brings something back around for a revisit, and while there can be a sense of deja vu, it brings a rebirth. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate being stuck in a pattern due to denial or refusing to examine and deal with a past issue. Feeling unable to move past something and let go in order to accept a new situation and circumstance may suggest self doubt. It can revive an old problem if any neighboring cards to the upright are challenging. So, the Queen of What's that? Cups? No, the Queen of Swords. Saying it how it is. Independent spirit, perceptive. The queen raises her swords towards the elevated light on a column, which reflects on her crown and sword, symbolic of the ability to cut through illusions to find wisdom and clarity. The doves are symbols of peace, showing this queen is a seeker of truth and justice. The cat beside her may symbolize feline grace with an independent spirit. As a person or representing character traits, the Queen of Swords is perceptive with an independent spirit. They have strength of character with a straightforward manner and deal with situations objectively. With a sharp and agile mind and a natural appetite for knowledge and information, they have an almost forensic style of reasoning skills. They are a critical thinker who is solution orientated. They like to see fair play and are loyal to and protected of friends and loved ones. They may seem guarded or almost distant at times, tending to their own counsel and preferring a handful of trusted confidants, but they are not someone to be underestimated. May represent someone connected to the legal profession, the government, or uniformed services, police or military. In divination, the Queen of Swords indicates a mature adult, traditionally female, and it can represent the astrological sun signs connected to the air elements. That's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Reversed or challenging aspects, difficult to please with exacting standards, may be impatient, unforgiving, blunt, critical, or cutting with a sharp tongue. Can be vengeful if cross, may come across as cold hearted, unyielding, steely, and remote. The Five of Pentacles. No pain, no gain. That's some thunder coming. Financial instability, temporary hardship. An impressive stained glass window dominates the scene, displaying five golden pentacles brightly lit from within. It suggests a church where help and charity may be available, yet the two people observing the window are begging outside. The Five of Pentacles can represent tough times on a financial level, and although usually of a temporary basis, it can indicate a lean period when money may be thin on the ground, such as when a source of income dries up, money you were expecting fails to materialize or is less than hoped for, or an unavoidable expense arrives at the inopportune time and may place you in an inconvenient position. Care with finances will be recommended at this time, so try to avoid unnecessary expenditure and double check transactions to guard against errors or loss that could result in a short period of instability. On a personal level, the Five of Pentacles can suggest a sense of loss, hope, or losing faith. However, the church window shows that support could be close at hand. Don't be afraid to ask for help or investigate all valid avenues that may be available at this time. Reverse the challenging aspects, gradual recovery of your position following financial challenges, a time to rebuild material resources after a lean period. For some, it can represent a narrow escape. If the card is followed by less favorable and challenging cards, it can suggest the problem is compounding. So the Queen of Pentacles. To have a friend, be a friend. Practical and reliable, highly organized. With an air of quiet confidence, the Queen displays her pentacle to us against a luxurious background of green and gold and a magnificent peacock, a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Despite her high rank and status, she is dressed in fine yet simple clothing, suggesting an easy composure with her worth. As a person of or character traits. The Queen of Pentacles is capable, grounded, and down to earth. They are extremely orderly and a natural organizer with a keen eye for detail and good practical skills. They have a solid and reliable nature, and home and family is important to them. They tend to take things in their stride and have an unflappable composure. The Queen of Pentacles is good at managing resources and usually adept with financial affairs and material matters. Stability and security are important to them, but they can be fixated on details or become set in their ways. This card can also indicate someone who is moneyed or financially independent, can be connected to accountants or financial services. In divination, the Queen of Pentacles can indicate a mature adult, traditionally female, can represent someone with the astrological sun sign of the earth element. That's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Reversed or challenging aspects may become rigid with routines and resist change at all costs, insecure and fixated upon material matters, constantly counting the cost regardless of financial position, calculated behaviors for financial gain, materialistic. The Page of Pentacles. Your reputation goes before you. However, financial news, placid child. A young page dressed in house colors of green and gold represents a large golden pentacle to the viewer. The peacock at their side is a symbol of wealth and prosperity. The Page of Pentacles indicates news and messages of a financial nature or concerning material affairs, usually news you are pleased to receive. Depending upon the situation and surrounding cards, for some this page may bring news regarding scholastic or educational matters such as study courses, scholarships, or academic placements. When representing a child, the Page of Pentacles is solid and dependable with a steady and methodical nature. Those who are academically minded may feature, although some are more inclined towards practical skills where they excel with manual dexterity. They tend to be grounded and level headed with a placid nature, but can be obstinate with a fixed mindset. And as a facet of personality, the pages are young at heart, with an open enthusiasm, but also a naivety that is yet to mature. As relative to the qualities of the suit, can represent minors with the astrological sun signs of the earth element, that's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Reversed or challenging aspects may indicate unfavorable news concerning finances or material affairs. An immature attitude towards finances. When representing a young person, it can take on less favorable aspects, signifying a lackadaisical attitude, lack of motivation or ambition, or sloppy and careless efforts. So the Two of Swords. Why do today what you can put off tomorrow? And I have been doing that. A stalemate, conflicting thoughts, analyst paralysis. Shrouded by clouds, a blindfold face emerges in the sky, suggesting disconnection and clouded thoughts. In front of the moon, two swords are crossed and suspended in the air, unmoving and perfectly poised, awaiting action. The Two of Swords symbolizes a stalemate situation or one in which a deadlock exists. So something could stall and nothing is moving. In relationship matters, it can show that a standoff has developed. You may feel that you need to make a decision yet are unable to move one way or another due to conflicting thoughts and being in two minds, creating analysis paralysis. It may be that you're procrastinating over something or feeling as though you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So you remain sitting on the fence, which creates a gridlock situation. And although you could feel blinded by a situation, you need to look at the matter objectively and logically so you can make a decision. You must take action in order to break the deadlock and make progress. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Two of Swords reversed may indicate being in denial and refusing to see. Some see the reverse card as an action taken, although not necessarily with a beneficial outcome. If the upright card is followed by an unfavorable or challenging card, it may show that inaction or a lack of movement leads to undesirable consequences. So the magician is here. The power of commitment. Applying active intention, self mastery, and skill. The magician displays the mastery of his skill as he suspends the symbol of the four suits before him. The lemniscate displayed on his third eye and repeated across the suspended elements suggests his ability to control all the forces through focused will. A bright light emanates above as he makes the divine link between heaven and earth to bring forth the manifestation of matter. The magician reminds you that you have all of the skills and the ability required to handle something well and bring about a successful conclusion. You will need to apply yourself with concentrated and focused will to the task at hand in order to succeed. While you have the potential needed to manifest your aims, you'll need to actively work with all the tools at your disposal to bring about the desired results. The magician isn't a card of wishful thinking, but one of using initiative and taking action with a single minded purpose and the clear intention to utilize your capabilities. The magician demonstrates the power you already hold within with the potential to direct and transform that energy through self mastery. Reversed or challenging aspects. When reversed or with challenging aspects, the magician can turn into a cunning trickster. It warns of misusing abilities or manipulating a situation with less honorable intentions, scattered energy that's out of control and ineffective, lacking skills and willpower, delays and blocks, or communication problems. So, the Queen of Wands, the spark of life. Warm and gregarious, spontaneous, the vibrant colors associated with fire dominates the scene. The queen greets you face on with wand in hand in preparation for action. The queen of her domain burned brightly atop a decorative column as a small dog observes her affectionately, a symbol of loyalty. Examining character traits, the Queen of Wands has an open and cheerful disposition with a bright and bubbly nature that attracts others. They often have a wide social circle and are excellent networkers, a social butterfly, energetic and always on their go. There's never enough hours to cram everything into their busy and varied calendar. The Queen of Wands is full of fun and makes a loyal friend. They love life and like to make the most of every moment, but can have a fear of missing out. Attention to detail is not their strong point, so they can be disorganized and prefer spontaneity over routine. In divination, the Queen of Wands represents a mature adult, traditionally female, and this may be someone you know or someone of this description who is yet to play a part when appearing in future positions. It can represent someone with the astrological sun sign of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Queen of Wands reverse may be chaotic and unreliable, unpredictable, conceited, and fiery. They may create drama. Lack of self discipline can be an exploitative social climber, prone to gossip, and spiteful if crossed. So the meditation, no, we're not on that yet. Oh, yes, we are. Take a sip of water for the meditation card. The meditation, the Six of Swords, listening to the inner voice, calm after storm, moving on, travel. Six Swords accompany the woman on her voyage, suggesting she carries the wisdom of hindsight with her. The boat travels across a calm stretch of water under the light of the full moon. Both the water and the moon symbolizes emotions. The Six of Swords can represent moving out of stormy waters into calmer times. If you have experienced difficult circumstances, then this card indicates that matters will improve as life enters a more peaceful phase. Harmony will once more be restored. As the Six of Swords is the boat, and the boat demonstrates, although you may be moving from from a challenging situation, your past experiences remain and travel with you, a reminder of life lessons encountered and the wisdom gained from them. The Six of Swords can represent a power of the intellect, where logic and clarity of thought can provide a smooth passage over the emotions. The Six of Swords can also indicate travel and may be quite literal, representing a journey over water. Reversed or challenging aspects can suggest that plans run ground with delays or possible postponement. Resolution to challenges may not yet be found. If the upright card is followed by one that is more challenging, it may show that relief could be short lived. Careful planning is advised to prevent sailing straight back into storms and creating an out of the frying pan into the fire scenario. So the devil has appeared. Your own worst enemy. Excess, unhealthy behavior, secret plans. Engulfed by flames, a bare torso emerges against the backdrop of a large pentacle. The elements of fire and earth dominate, representing unbridled energy and material pleasures. The horned mask can suggest secrecy, but also the blind pursuit of earthly desires. The devil represents the shadow side of human nature, so all forms of excessive tendencies and hedonistic behaviors can feature. The card is steeped in the temptations of the earthly and material world. Addiction can sometimes feature as a form of self enslavement. The devil is like the itch that you can't scratch, yet you're always free to walk away. The devil can indicate a passionate or compelling relationship with a strong physical attraction, and although not usually a healthy one, it can suggest obsession, controlling and manipulative behavior, or a clandestine affair. But check any supporting or surrounding cards to verify. It may also carry an aspect of secrecy, such as secret plans being made either by you or others around you. The oppressive nature of this card can add a sense of heaviness when you feel helpless to change a situation. The devil has a toxic quality that can taint any card it immediately follows. Reverse though challenging aspects, when reversed, it can represent release from unhealthy behavior or negative influences. When upright or followed followed or surrounded by challenging cards, it can intensify the upright meaning and sometimes indicate nefarious activities. So the Two of Swords is here. Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? I've already read that. But a stalemate, conflicting thoughts, analyst paralysis, shrouded by clouds, a blindfolded face emerges in the sky, suggesting disconnection and clouded thoughts. In front of the moon, two swords are crossed and suspended in the air, unmoving and perfectly poised, awaiting action. The Two of Swords symbolizes a stalemate situation or one in which a deadlock exists. So something could stall and nothing is moving. In relationship matters, it can show that a standoff has developed. You may feel that you need to make a decision yet are unable to move on one way or another due to conflicting thoughts and being in two minds, creating analyst paralysis. It may be that you're procrastinating over something or feel as though you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So you remain sitting on the fence, which creates a gridlock situation. And although you could feel blinded by a situation, you need to look at the matter objectively and logically so you can make a decision. You must take action in order to break the deadlock and make progress. Reverse the challenging aspects. The Two of Swords reversed may indicate being in denial and refusing to see. Some see the reverse card as an action taken, although not necessarily with a beneficial outcome. If the upright card is followed by an unfavorable or challenging card, it may show that inaction or a lack of movement leads to undesirable consequences. The star, somewhere over the rainbow. Hope and healing, improving circumstances, inspiration. Under the gentle light of eight stars, a naked woman gently pours illuminated water from two vessels into the calm pool of the unconscious. Nakedness suggests truth and purity. The ancients looked to the stars for navigation, and a compass has eight pointed representing guidance. 8 points representing guidance. The star on her forehead may suggest inspired thought. The star is the card of hope. It brings a sense of optimism and tells you to have faith, safe in the knowledge that better times lies ahead. Its beautiful aspects mean it is always a welcome sight in any situation, and it reminds you to believe in yourself. It brings inspired thought with a renewed vision for the future, and your plans show promise under the light of the star. For some, it may be literal, placing you in the spotlight and allowing you to shine. The calm and gentle energy of this lovely card can bring healing to any situation and indicates improved circumstances for your general well-being or health matters. It may it may invigorate relationships and help to heal rifts and suggest harmonious living conditions, especially if times have been tough of late. Reverse the challenging aspects. The star reverse can suggest a lack of faith, losing hope, or feeling down and discouraged or world weary. When the upright card is followed by less favorable aspects, it may show a temporary reprieve before challenges return. So we're here for the Chariot spread. Okay. Hmm. It's getting dark. And it's only 1:30. Okay, we start this chariot spread question with the charioteer. Where am I currently? What is the current state of my journey? The Knight of Pentacles. Trees that don't bend in the wind won't last the storm. Long awaited outcome, slow and steady progress, long standing situation. The knight and steed are adorned in suit colors with a pentacle shield and the alchemical sign for earth. They appear to have taken the scenic route as they steadily ride through verdant countryside. The squirrel can represent resourcefulness, being industrious and keeping store. The rabbit acts as a reminder of the fable that it's not always the fastest who wins the race. The Knight of Pentacles represents a long-standing situation that finally comes to fruition and can relate to any area of life. It often brings the outcome to a matter that has been patiently awaited or results finally forthcoming for something that you'd almost given up on. It can indicate a slow burn situation or something developed over a long period of time. So the Knight of Pentacles suggests slow and steady progress and planning for the long term. If you're using the Knight to represent a young person or facet of personality, they will be steady and reliable, practical and methodical by nature, and fairly mellow. They don't like to be rushed and can be stubborn or set in their ways. Reverse those challenging aspects. Situations can become stuck without movement or progress, including financial resources, representing a person or character trait. It would assume the less favorable aspects. Someone with lack of imagination and ambition, becoming set in boring routines. It may also suggest laziness. Hmm. Question number 2. The dark horse pulls me in one direction. What leads me astray from my desired goals? What is distracting me? The Tower. A wake up call. Sudden upheaval, abrupt change, and disruption. Storm clouds gather in the heavens as a lightning bolt strikes the tower, sending a naked figure tumbling headlong from the fiery blast to an unknown destination. We never know where lightning may strike, suggesting it was or is an unforeseen and shocking event. The tower can represent an abrupt change that brings upheaval and disruption. Unexpected news may arrive suddenly that shakes the fabric of your world, or a situation disintegrates. As creatures of habit, the structures we build in our lives create a sense of security. Sudden change rattles the foundation and plunges us headlong into uncertainty. This abrupt event eventually or usually comes from an external source and may feel outside of your control, so there tends to be an air of inavailability about it. However, you can control your response, so it can serve as a warning to consider alternative plans or prepare contingency measures. As with all the cards, the tower operates across a wide spectrum. Keep a sense of perspective rather than assuming an extreme or worst case scenario. The tower brings a flash of insight as it removes a false philosophy that was built on shaky foundations, and it allows you to build anew from a stronger base. Reversed or challenging aspects. The tower reverse may minimize the impact of the upright meaning or can indicate a danger averted. When followed by challenging aspects, it can intensify the situation and show the subsequent fallout. Card number 3, the light horse. Pulls me in the other direction. What leads me towards my desired goals? What should I be focusing on? What will bring me success? The Queen of Cups. Love is truth, fear is illusion. Gentle natured, compassionate. A beautifully adorned queen loosely holds flowers in one hand and her golden cup in the other, but it doesn't hold her attention as she casts a faraway gaze. The ocean is visible from the finery of her balcony, suggesting the sea of her emotions, while two small dogs look on, indicating sweetness and devotion. The Queen of Cups represents someone who is good natured and mild mannered, usually soft spoken, with a kind and gentle disposition. The thoughtful and compassionate, they feel things deeply, so they may be at the mercy of their emotions. They can be very sensitive and take things to heart. Being strongly attuned, their empathetic nature serves them well in caring, healing, or nurturing roles. They can be a romantic and may satisfy this expression through creativity or the arts, but may be prone to seeing the world through rose tinted glasses. They don't like to rock the boat, so they can be submissive or passive aggressive. The sweet tempered Queen of Cups feels ill equipped to deal with the harsher sides of life. In divination, the Queen of Cups indicates a mature adult Traditionally female, it can represent someone with the astrological sun sign of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Reversed or challenging aspects, possible dependency issues, and over reliance on others. Saturn can be gullible, sulky, childish, insecure, or not averse to emotional blackmail. Some see the reverse card to suggest someone detached from their emotions, cold and unfeeling. So, number, question number 4. The next step. What should my short term focus be? What is the next thing I should be working on? The priestess, the high priestess, that is, a secret revealed, universal mysteries, instinct. The high priestess has an otherworldly air and appears to be in an ecstatic state, engaged in a communion with the divine dance. She skims the water under a new crescent moon, her garment bedecked with stars, symbolic of the unconscious. She is controlled by the illuminated pillars J and B, Jachin and Boaz, a reference to the entrance of the Temple of Solomon. The mask suggests secrecy. The high priestess represents secrets and universal mysteries and may bring a revelation. It can suggest a secret being revealed, something becoming known that will be your benefit. So watch and wait. This important piece of information would illuminate the truth and bring an aha moment to you to enlighten you, so the path ahead should seem clear. The high priestess often shows when events are still developing and lining up behind the scenes. This card may encourage you to explore the hidden depths of your psyche, to seek divine wisdom and gain knowledge through the deeper aspects of life and the higher concepts of spirituality. Tap into your intuition and listen to your instincts. Reverse or challenging aspects can indicate blocked energy or the inner journey taken to extreme, resulting in being detached from normal life and outside influences. Some see it as a return following such a period, secrets that work to your disadvantage, misuse of spirituality or psychic gifts, a fake guru, or psychic scam. So, question number 5. What the obstacles? What lies in my way? What needs to be overcome? What challenges do I face on this journey? The Knight of Wands. Act in haste, regret at leisure. Change your residence, relocation, long journey. A knight and his steed are fully bedecked in heraldic finery, bearing the alchemical sign for the fire element. With wand held aloft, this fiery knight has a purposeful air as they venture forth on their quest. They seem unperturbed by an abrupt volcano in the background, a reminder of the powerful force of fire together in the bold, adventurous spirit of the night. All the night suggests actions and movement and represents some type of event, and the element and the Knight of Wands is the main card to indicate a change of residence. It can also suggest a lot of movement within the home, such as renovations or people moving in or out. In the workplace, it may bring relocation or different surroundings. Travel can be indicated, and it may suggest a long journey. As a combination of both aspects, it can sometimes represent immigration. If you decide to use the knight to represent a young person or character trait, then the Knight of Wands is excitable and energetic with a youthful exuberance, bold and adventurous with ambitious ideas. They can be passionate, sociable, and outgoing, but also headstrong, impulsive, and rash. Reverse the challenging aspects can introduce interruptions and delays, a disruptive influence to the advancement of activities, representing a person or facet of personality. It highlights the less favorable character aspects and can also suggest aggressive tendencies, a devil may care attitude, or rowdy or roguish behavior. So, the destination, question number 6. Where is all this leading? What will my destination look like? The Nine of Cups. Ask and you will receive. A wish fulfilled, abundant blessings. Missed 8 upright and golden cups. A jolly innkeeper lifts his own as though raising a toast to you. The full barrels that surround him indicates abundance as a setting associated with good cheer. The Nine of Cups represents a wish fulfilled, bringing warmth and good cheer, and an overall sense of satisfaction with your lot. Life is good, and you should feel well pleased and abundantly blessed as something you were hoping for comes to fruition, bringing fulfillment to a heart's desire. As one of the most positive cards in the deck, it can bring both emotional and material fulfillment, so the context may be found in relation to the question asked, the spread position, or any surrounding cards. Happiness and contentment and sensual pleasures may be relevant for some, but generally it is a sign you can achieve your hopes and dreams, as the Nine of Cups grants your wish. Reversed or challenging aspects can bring a complete reversal to the upright meaning, in, in that something you sincerely hoped for does not materialize and remains unfulfilled. It may suggest receiving something that you wish for that then fails to live up to your expectations. When the upright card is followed by a challenging or less favorable card, it may represent an anticlimax or short lived result. Oh no, we're finished with that. So that's okay. So now let's bring this to a close. Let's bring this reading to a close. The time is 1:44 p.m. I'm going to come right back and do the strength reading, and then I'll be caught up. So, the Eight of Swords. Where did my life go? Restrictions and limitations, feeling disempowered. A blindfolded woman kneels amongst the clouds, encircled by illuminated swords, both representing the air element and thoughts. The blindfold shuts out external senses, while her loosely bound wrists suggest she may not be as captive to the prison of swords that seemingly constrain her as she first appears. The Eight of Swords can represent fearful thoughts that are holding you captive, making you feel trapped and disempowered within a situation. Sometimes it can suggest being in denial and refusing to see the truth of the matter. Although this card often represents something based on fear that holds negative thought patterns, the symbolism in this image contains both the cause and the solution within their apparent contradictions. The duality and double-edged nature of the radiant sword reveals both clouded thoughts and insight, while the surrounding clouds and blindfold prevent seeing the truth. A calm head is required to face your fears and make adjustments. While the Eight of Swords may be based on the mental process, it can also reveal a tangible restriction or limitation that is causing an impediment to impediment to progress in some area of life. This could be this could include finances, relationships, or being confined or housebound, for example. So, reverse or challenging aspects. The Eight of Swords reverse can represent obstacles removed or breaking free from constraints, release from limiting beliefs that hold you back. If the upright card is followed by challenging aspects, it may show the situation intensifying and escalating. So the Chariot, harnessing the fighting spirit. The Three of Swords. Every rose has a thorn. Stormy emotions, quarrels, and upheavals. Three swords pierce a heart against the background of a dark sky, suggesting stormy emotions and wounding actions that may run deep. The symbol of the sun sits over the heart and can represent the self or ego, which may feel injured. There may be a storm brewing in some area of your life, and it can bring quarrels and upsets. There could be conflict with sharp exchanges and cutting words or hurtful actions that go straight to the heart and wound deeply. As a lower number of the suit, the Three of Swords can show the early stages of a disagreement, so care should be taken to prevent escalation. Upheavals in family situations can sometimes be indicated. Traditionally, this card represents the painful experience of heartbreak in all its forms. However, with challenging cards, it's important to keep things in perspective and relative to any surrounding cards that may be present. This helps provide some context. The Three of Swords can sometimes represent a long distance relationship or those separated by distance without through circumstance. Reversed or challenging aspects, when reversed, it can represent a disruptive influence that's similar to the upright meaning but to a lesser extent. Some see the reverse card as healing and relief after strife. If the upright card is followed by one of a more challenging nature, then it can indicate more serious repercussions developing. So let's see what's next. The Nine of Pentacles, make hay while the sun shines. The King of Swords, nothing succeeds like success. The Moon, appearances can be deceptive. Uncertainty, illusions, and unknown factors. Secrecy, a mechanical device appears to frame or project the moon onto a globe, creating an optical illusion. Set between two pillars, the moon dominates the scene in a twilight sky, suggesting an intermediate and changeable state. The creatures respond to their natural instincts, and the crab emerges from the ocean of the subconscious, representing the shadowy aspects of the unknown. The moon can represent illusionary situations, possible deceptions through veiled activity, and feelings of uncertainty due to unknown factors that cause confusion. Emotions are highly charged and fluctuating, similar to the ebb and flow of the tides from the gravitational pull of the moon, which can create a sense of instability. It can warn against jumping to conclusions, as the light of the moon can create illusions, shapes, and the shadows that are not what they seem. There's usually more to a situation than first meets the eye, so wait until the situation has revealed itself, as it will in due course. The mythical the mystical associations of the moon can represent dreams and becoming more vivid as the subconscious reveals itself, and intuition may be heightened, but care will be needed due to the illusionary nature. Reversed or challenging aspects can intensify the less favorable aspects, such as delusion, hallucinations, and paranoia being switched off from reality, trippy, deception, smoke and mirrors, or concealment may suggest something dissipating and on the wane. The Four of Pentacles. The more we get, the more we want. The Four of Cups. Self, self, self. The Ace of Wands. Thinking out of the box. So let's read that. New venture or project, a whole new way of life. An ornate and blazing wand is suspended in the heavens, a gift from the divine. A pair of hands fervently reaches towards it in readiness to grasp the opportunity and initiate the creative action of human endeavor. All the aces indicates a new beginning, as relevant to their suit and element. The Ace of Wands brings action and enterprise and holds the potential for a dynamic new venture or project. This exhilarating fresh start brings plenty of movement into the picture and suggests that you'll be all fired up and buzzing with excitement. In work matters, it can suggest new opportunity, endeavors, or creative project that's surrounded by energy and enthusiasm. You may feel inspired with fresh ideas and ready to initiate action. When connected to situations regarding home and family, it can indicate the start of a whole new way of life. And sometimes this may be quite literal in suggesting a new life like pregnancy. The Ace of Wands can add sparks of passion to existing relationships, and when connected to a new relationship, it may represent a fiery and passionate romance. Reverse the challenging aspects, difficulty getting new plans off the ground, ideas that lack direction or implementation, spinning your wheels, delays and false starts, lack of motivation and feeling uninspired. In the right context, it can sometimes indicate impotence, impotence, or challenges with fertility matters. So the Two of Pentacles, going with the flow. Maintaining balanced cash flow in multiples. A stormy sky appears to brew against a calm sea, suggesting mixed conditions. The well dressed merchant concentrates while juggling two golden pentacles through a rainbow, which is usually considered to be a good omen. I thought I read that. I've now been reading Two of Swords. Okay, let's continue. The Two of Pentacles represents the effort required to successfully maintain a balance in some area of life and suggests you have the ability to keep everything flowing smoothly. It can feel as though you're engaged in a balancing act, but with some careful maneuvering, you can steady the ship and achieve harmonious equilibrium. In personal matters, it can indicate the effort required to attain balance between different aspects of life, such as home and work. It can suggest juggling finances, balancing the books, a cash flow situation, or secondary source. In work matters, it can represent keeping more than one project or simultaneously multitasking, job sharing, or having more than one job. There are various situations where you may be dealing with multiples, such as a second property, for example. So the question, the background, any surrounding cards, or the Two of Pentacles placement in a spread can help provide more context. Reversal challenging aspects can represent fluctuating circumstances or a lack of balance. Frantic efforts can lead to mistakes and loss of control in a situation. Everything may feel out of kilter. With any challenging aspects, it may suggest dropping the ball and failure to hold things steadily. The Five of Pentacles, no pain, no gain. The Sun, seeing the light. Shining success, happiness, and contentment. The radiant sun dominates shown within our solar system and orbit of the planets. The zodiac wheel reflects its influence upon us all as this gravitational force and magnetic field holds the cosmos together in perfect order. The journey of the planets is mapped across the heavens with everything in its rightful place. The sun is an active energy of the conscious mind and physical plane. The sun is one of the most positive cards in the deck as it brings happiness and shining success to every situation. Everything responds to the warmth of the sun and its life-giving qualities. It brings a general joy de vivre to life and circumstances with a revitalizing energy that can add a spring to your step. The radiance of the sun bestows many blessings to whichever area of life it touches. This could be a joyful contentment in marriage and relationship, happiness, and family life, restored vitality to health and well being, success and achievements in your projects and career endeavors, an improvement to prosperity and material matters. Life is good. Reversed or challenging aspects, the sun is one of the few cards that retain a similar effect to the upright card, when reversed just slightly less so. However, if the upright card is followed by one that is challenging, it would tend to diminish the favorable qualities and show a downturn to positive events. The final reading card of this reading falls on the Ten of Wands, carrying the world, the weight of the world. Overwhelmed and overburdened, under pressure. What began as a good ideal in the ace has now become a burden the man carries on his back. All the wands gained from his experience throughout the journey are now weighing him down as he awkwardly tries to support them all. The 10 brings completion to the suit, and although he works long into the night. He marches determinedly onward towards the rising dawn. The Ten of Wands suggests carrying a heavy load or too much of something. You may feel overwhelmed or overburdened by the situation to be in any area of life. So in career matters, it may show overwork, a burnout situation, pressures of work, or the avalanche of work arriving. So not necessarily bad in that instance if managed correctly. In the home, it can represent feelings as though you have too many responsibilities. In relationships, it may suggest that you're feeling under pressure or a heavy going situation. And in finances, it could indicate being weighed down by material matter. This card can act as a reminder to delegate and find balance, and that successful endeavors also bring more responsibilities. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Ten of Wands reversed can bring more pressure and additional stress to the matter and suggests a worsening situation, an uphill battle, debauchery, futile efforts. Some see the reverse card as a release from said burdens. So that has been today's Easy Tarot listening for the Chariot energy, harnessing the fighting spirit. The day of the unabashed extrovert. Knowledge and wisdom. Have faith in your life.